Well, as Ukraine faces its biggest economic and humanitarian crisis, international assistance is flowing in to help mitigate the impact of the Russian assault. The International Monetary Fund has approved a $1.4 billion package in emergency funding for Ukraine. That's on top of more than $700 million released by the World Bank earlier this week. And the US government says it will provide $13.6 billion in aid to Kiev. The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development has also announced a $2.2 billion resilience package for Ukraine. Its president, Odile Renaud Basso, joins us now from Paris. Thank you so much for joining us, Odile. Firstly, we know that key European institutions like the European Union, the European Commission, have taken quite a tough stance against Russia for its assault on Ukraine. I'm wondering what your organisation, the EBRD, position is on this current conflict that we're seeing.
So first of all, we have clearly condemned the conflict, which I think is a real drama. And we have, with the support of our shareholders, taken steps to cut access to EBRD resources to Russia and Belarus. So this is a decision that has been taken by our board to suspend all access to EBRD resources to these two countries. The other step is the one you mentioned just before, which is a package for recovery to support the resilience of Ukraine and the neighboring countries, which are also very affected by the crisis.
Yes, and we know that the crisis has caused immeasurable damage, both physically in terms of the destruction of lives, infrastructure, property across Ukraine, but it's also sparked a humanitarian crisis. We've got more than 1.5 million Ukrainians being forced to flee the country. That's having an effect on neighboring countries as well. Tell us, how are you envisioning your money will be spent in terms of addressing both the immediate needs of Ukrainians and those of neighboring countries?
So we will focus on emergency liquidity support for companies, businesses to be able to continue to develop their activities, to support trade, because trade finance is being very difficult now in Ukraine, and it's a very important element to continue economic activity and despite the very difficult war circumstances, to be able to buy food, buy oil, by medicines and so forth. So this is one important element. The second one will be support to municipalities and local authorities that have to face with flows of refugees, and this will be for Ukraine. Inside Ukraine, you have a lot of flows of population, but also for the neighboring countries. We are also willing to provide support for energy security, so buying energy in countries or in Ukraine and in countries affected also. This will request some support also for donors in order to share the risk. Because of course, in a situation like that, for a bank like EBRD, we need to balance the risk and to get some support from donors in order to be able to disburse very quickly to our clients, the local authorities and local municipalities, and provide financial support.
Yes, and Madam President, how difficult has it been to secure this funding from donors, given that we're still dealing with the effects of the health crisis, the pandemic, which has hit economies in Europe quite hard?
I think this is an ongoing process, so we still have to finalize and to mobilize. But what you see, I think, and I'm very impressed to see that globally, the very strong support from the population all over Europe, but also globally, to support Ukraine in these very challenging times. So I think there is a deep understanding that this war is a very important stake, very high stake for Ukraine, but also Europe, and that support is needed.
Okay, President Odile Renaud Basso, we will have to leave it there, but thank you very much again for joining us on Money Talks.
Thank you very much.